Left.
Yep.
There you go. Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
All right, well, let me know once you're
I'm ready.
kind of ready to set. You're all set? Brad? All right, great. First question is just, how did tennis first enter your life?
Tennis got into my life when I was very young, probably around 5 years old. So I grew up in I would say a sports family, but my mom was a teacher, so studying was very important for her. But the rest of the family, my father and my two older brothers, were crazy into sport, in football, in soccer, and in tennis. So it started with a tennis table, because we had a table at home, and I was 4 years old, and I wasn't as tall as the table, and I started to hit, and I didn't miss a single ball, and I was playing a lot with my brothers. They were playing tennis tournaments, and I was following them, everywhere. I always say today that probably my biggest chance was to have older brothers. They were 7 and 9 when I was born, and they had a lot of patience with me. So they brought me to sports pretty naturally, and growing up with two older brothers really gave me the character and the passion of the sports. And I was playing football and I was playing tennis with them. It was a big part of our life, so it's really how it started. After the matches, they always took a few minutes or sometimes a few hours to hit with me, and it's been amazing, because I was from the beginning, I was focused on the ball and on nothing else. So it was probably a way for me to, to stay concentrated or to be involved in something. It could be something else, but it's what I chose.
Give me a second.
Yep.
I'm going to slide this over a little bit more. Just for a second. Keep looking forward at that.
Yes.
Is this in front of you? So your husband's a camera guy?
No.
Oh, that's what you said.
I thought,
All right, we're still rolling?
Yeah.
We all good?
Yes.
All right. Did you always love tennis from the beginning? Was it always just a love and passion for you?
I always loved tennis from the first balls I did hit, and until the end of my career. But it started, really quickly. It's like you fall in love with something, and something that becomes a big passion that is your whole life. So I don't think that you can run such a tennis career if you don't have the passion. Some of big legends say that they didn't really love tennis at the first point, but for my case, it was something very clear. When I was 6 years old, I was watching Roland Garros on TV, and then I was going into my bedroom, and I was pretending I was playing the final on that center court, and I was winning, and I was holding a trophy, and I was answering the journalist at the end of the match. So I was really into it. I was. I could visualize everything I wanted to achieve in tennis. It's pretty strange to talk about it this way, but it's really how it happened. It was clear for me I wanted to become a champion, the #1 player in the world. I was watching Steffi Graf on TV. She was my biggest idol, and I don't know, the way the attitude she got on the court and the focus. I always had the feeling I had a little bit of the same character, and I don't know, because I was a happy kid at home, but a little bit in my bubble already. I needed something really to, not to control me, but I had maybe to find something exceptional. I don't know, to find my place in my family, but sport, was everything in my life at that time. I loved school. I was working pretty good at school, but as far as I could be on the tennis courts after school, I was the happiest girl in the world.
All right, perfect. Tennis is an individual sport. you know, it's you by yourself. Other sports, you have teammates you can depend on and look to. Did you like the idea of tennis being an individual sport that was just you?
Well, being in individual sport has been not really a choice at the beginning because I was playing a lot of soccer also, and so I was in a team of boys because there weren't any girls teams at that time. It's 30 years ago, so things have changed a lot. So I loved that idea to be part of the team, and even when I was playing soccer, I wanted just to put a lot of goals. I want to be in attack and I wanted to make the difference. So I wanted to be in control, and that's probably part of what I loved in the choice I made playing a tennis player at the highest level, because I love that situation that you are responsible for yourself and it has to come, you have a team and you have people around you. But when you're on the court and you need to make the decisions, you do it alone, and it's not, you don't have 10 seconds to react and to decide. The instinct is a big part of it, and I like to feel things, and I think that's part of what I really felt in love with in the tennis. Even now, after my tennis career, I realized that being part of the team, running a little company and everything is probably the hardest for me because I like to be in control. So part of the reason maybe why I choose tennis.
All right, perfect. In your career, you're known for having this beautiful one-handed backhand. How did that start? Did you always have a one-handed backhand? Did you switch at a certain age? How did that happen?
I always have been playing with a one-handed backhand from my first age, so since I'm 5. I took my little racket. It was a gray one. I will never forget that. And no, I don't know why. Probably because of Steffi, and also Stefan Edberg was my second idol. So I was attracted by the slice and the possibility to do different things with the hand. For many years, I always thought that I couldn't explain really why I had that backhand, but then I started to think, and then I realized that when I was 9 years old, I had a coach at the time that really put me in so many repetitions, and we all know that repetition is the key to get into a process and to fix things. And I remember that guy, Luc, he was throwing me hundreds of balls, and I had a technical issue at that time and I couldn't make it, and every time I was hitting the ball and he was just doing this with his head, so he wasn't saying anything. I knew what I had to do, and then after, I don't know, weeks, months, and thousands of balls, finally I got the right movement. So I think that, the rhythm, the timing, I could make a big difference with that shot, but the key has been the repetitions and just to feel the movement. I'm a player who worked a lot in the past, and because I knew that physically I wasn't as tall or as strong as other players, so I had to really work technically on different elements to make sure that I was hitting the ball at the right time, at the right place, and that I could find a certain power with the right movement. So that's a workout that I started pretty young, and I always felt it was part of my history. Everyone is talking to me about my backhand, and I had to be careful because sometimes I was getting lazy on that shot later in my career. And Carlos, my coach, was always coming back on this and hitting a lot of balls and trying to find something more so I could be more efficient, even more efficient. So it's always a process that you have to start again. Nothing comes like this, only with the talent. So I got the talent, that's for sure, but you need to make sure all the time that you try to develop something more, because that's what the other players do.
Growing up as a kid, was Roland Garros always the #1 tournament for you? Tell me about that.
Yeah, growing up, I grew up with Roland Garros. It's been part of my, it's almost my second house. As I told you, I was watching on TV. As Belgian, we are close to Paris, and it was the Grand Slam that we could watch easily on TV. yeah, that's really how it started. Here in Belgium, when it's Roland Garros on TV, it's during the exams of the students, but they always say when we want to take a pause, we watch Roland Garros. It's part of our life, even if we don't like tennis. So, of course, I was watching like many people, and I always loved, I don't know, the noise of the clay and the atmosphere, and even on TV. And then I got the chance when I was 10. I won a national tournament in Belgium, and the main sponsor of the tournament was giving two seats in a sponsor box, 5 meters from the court. For the final, it was a long time ago, I don't remember the year, but I was in 1992, and it was Celes against Graf, and I had the chance to go and see my idol. I was 5 meters from her, and I was there with my mom, and Steffi lost, I think 8-6 in third, and so I was so disappointed, but at the same time, I grabbed my mom and I said to her, one day I'll be on that court and I will win, and she looked at me and saying, and I think she said, yes, my dear, of course, you can dream about it, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. And I was convinced that that was what I wanted to do. It's very hard to explain why, but when I was into the center court, I really felt, okay, that's my destiny. And 10 years or 11 years later, I was on that court, and I was winning the French Open. So. Yeah, it's my second home. When I go there, I love Paris, and when I'm in Roland Garros, I feel that there's something special for me. And I won Roland Garros Juniors also in 1997, and that's where you really live your first big emotions in Grand Slam. And I grew up with that, and even now, when I go back, I still get almost the same feeling when I was a little girl, and it's something kind of magical that is very hard to describe.
To be fair, just slide over to your left a little bit. You're just kind of leaning here. There you go.
Yeah. I'm tired, I told you so.
How important was your mom's role in your success in tennis as a kid and everything? How important was her being around and her support?
The role of my mom has been, of course, very important because she died when I was very young, but also because of everything she teach me. And I learned something big from her is the commitment. So when you go into something, you do it 200%. So she never pushed me to tennis, as I said many times. She was a teacher. She was reading a lot of books. She wanted. We were 4 at home, and she wanted us to be good at school. And sports, it was okay for her, but it was not something that important. When she was seeing that my brothers and I, we were really into it, she was always asking us. She drove us many times for our practice, for our competitions, but she wanted us to give our best, and that's really what I learned from her is the passion, the commitment, the fact that we go to the end of the process. And she was supporting me a lot. She wasn't pushing, but she was supporting me. And then when she passed away, of course, it's been. I explained what happened at Roland Garros, and so when she passed away, it became my mission to achieve that. I also promised her that I would finish my high school, and then I finally decided to do something else and to be really involved in tennis. And I stopped school when I was 16, but for me it wasn't really a risk because I was good at school and I knew that I would be a professional tennis player one day. So I decided to live my own life, even if it was hard for me. That I promised her to finish, and finally I made another decision. But it was probably the day or so that I said, okay, I'm not a kid anymore, and I become an adult, and I know what I want to do, and where I want to go. And sometimes it's a bit tough because family was important for me, but my tennis career was even more important at that time. That I wanted to reach my dream, and the fact that she wasn't there anymore probably gave me the character also. I'm not sure of that because when I was a very young kid, I knew already what I wanted to do, but probably the fact that she wasn't there anymore gave me another energy to say, okay, I have to achieve that. Maybe I could do that even with her, but yeah, I will never get that answer. But I'm the kind of person who always try to take something positive, even from the hardest moments. And it was the hardest moment of my life because I had to build myself, not alone, but yeah, by myself a lot. And maybe today it was my biggest gift that I had to take my life by myself and that I had to take my responsibilities. And when you have to do that off the court, probably it helps also on the court to take the right decisions at the good timing.
I believe you were 15 when you found out that your mother had cancer. How did you find out, and what did you feel inside?
So when I heard that my mom was sick, I was 12, and she was sick from cancer, and it lasted for only 1 year, so it was pretty fast. And my parents never really told me what was happening, and they didn't want to put words on that. It's something that I not have regrets today because I understand them perfectly. But I think that kids feel a lot of things and understand a lot of things, and today it's another. I mean, we are 25 years later, and now we speak probably more easily about these things. But at that time, cancer was still a word that was tough to hear, especially for kids of a certain age. But so I was at a tough age. 12 for a young girl is not an easy time. So yeah, my parents told us that she was sick and that she needed surgery and that she would stop working as a teacher. And my sister was 8, so it was even harder for her. She didn't really understand, and I understood that something was really wrong. And it's been a year that's been very tough because I was keeping traveling for my tennis because it was still my dream and I wanted to follow that. But yeah, I could feel that things were pretty wrong at home, and so it's been, yeah, of course, a tough year. And then I realized very late that she would pass away. Only the day before she passed away, my dad said to us that she wouldn't make it. So it's been quite tough. We had time to prepare to this, but at the end, as nothing really has been said clearly, I always had the feeling that I wasn't ready to say goodbye. So it's something that I had to think of, to discuss also with my family years later. And of course, I don't have any anger on my parents on that because they wanted to protect us so much. But now in my life, it's something that really I keep with me, even with my kids. And I know that sometimes things are tough to say, but I think it's better to put words on things because we can do something of that. Yeah, it hasn't been the nicest moment of my, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just pick it up from there. Is that door shut or no?
Actually, there's a door, isn't it? Okay.
I think it's better to close because, yeah. We're gonna have now plenty of people coming into the club for the lessons, so.
Do you remember where you were finishing?
Yeah, I'm good.
So you have a
Yeah.
finish. All right. 1 sec.
It's good, yeah.
We're still rolling that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That just went in frame.
Okay.
That,
Yeah, it's right there.
yeah, that wasn't there earlier. I just moved it. Okay. Yeah.
We can.
Wait for Bo to sit, and then we'll get going.
And Charlotte, just tilt down here. Yeah, along. Right there.
Good?
Yeah.
So we'll jump ahead to 2000.